We've come a long way since our doors first opened. Though our beginnings were modest, our vision was bold. With each passing decade, we grew. Times changed, and we adapted. We evolved, and we delivered. Market-driven programs that get our grads jobs. Seamless support services that wrap around our students. Sustainable practices that protect our earth. For the past 10 years, our mission ensured that the student experience came first at Durham College. But we've reached a tipping point. As we reflect on all we've accomplished and look closely at where we stand, it's clear. We're not just putting the student experience first, we're reinventing it. What's happening on our campuses, across our communities, and around the globe is a DC-grown and led transformation of the way we learn, the way we teach, the way we work, live, and lead. The many paths to post-secondary education merge and weave in so many new ways, and our approach to delivering that education, advanced learning that innovates, inspires, and changes lives, is just as varied. We are shaping this transformation shoulder to shoulder, heads down while working hard, but always with clear eyes on the future. This is our stake in the ground. We are DC, and together, we are leading the way. We've come a long way since our doors first opened. Though our beginnings were modest, our vision was bold. With each passing decade, we grew. Times changed, and we adapted. We evolved, and we delivered. Market-driven programs that get our grads jobs. Seamless support services that wrap around our students. Sustainable practices that protect our earth. For the past 10 years, our mission ensured that the student experience came first at Durham College. But we've reached a tipping point. As we reflect on all we've accomplished and look closely at where we stand, it's clear. We're not just putting the student experience first, we're reinventing it. What's happening on our campuses, across our communities, and around the globe is a DC-grown and led transformation of the way we learn, the way we teach, the way we work, live, and lead. The many paths to post-secondary education merge and weave in so many new ways, and our approach to delivering that education, advanced learning that innovates, inspires, and changes lives, is just as varied. We are shaping this transformation shoulder to shoulder, heads down while working hard, but always with clear eyes on the future. This is our stake in the ground. We are DC. And together,
and your Durham Lords. Today marks the Durham Lords' last regular season home game, and before we get underway, we'd like to take a moment to honor our graduating seniors, a remarkable group of student athletes who have proudly represented Durham College both on the diamond and in the classroom. This player made an immediate impact in his lone season wearing the green and gold. In 4 appearances, he posted an outstanding 1.91 ERA, striking out 30 batters in 22 innings pitched. Against the defending champion St. Clair Saints, he threw not only a complete game shutout, but also a no-hitter. Fans, please give it up for pre-service firefighting major Matt Jones. Up next, this senior joined the Lords in 2023 after a successful career right here in Oshawa. A defensive anchor behind the plate, he also provided consistent offense with a .311 career batting average. Off the field, he gives back to the game as a lead strength and conditioning coach of the Oshawa Legionnaires Elite Program. Fans, make some noise for carpentry major Tristan Delorier. Our next graduating senior, also a current Legionnaire, has been a steady force at shortstop, recording 70 assists in 29 games. At the plate, he's been equally reliable with a .300 career batting average and over 100 plate appearances. Fans, let's hear it for building construction technician major Quentin Earl. Our next senior has spent 4 seasons with the Lords and was a key contributor to Durham's back-to-back OCAA bronze medal teams. He made an immediate impact as the Bob Johnston Rookie of the Year winner in 2022 and has since compiled a .361 career batting average with 57 hits and 41 RBIs. Fans, let's hear it for Crane Operation Manager Major Eddie Barutsky. Up next, this Whitby native has also been a part of Durham's medal-winning seasons and has excelled in every facet of the game. Over 4 years, he's posted a .307 career batting average, including an incredible .417 average and .563 on-base percentage this season. Defensively, he's been rock solid, committing just 4 errors in 56 career games. Off the field, he served as a student trainer and was named as the Bonnie Gintner Brown Leadership Award winner in 2025. Fans, make some noise for 911 Communications Major Eric Smith. And finally, our last graduating senior has been a cornerstone of the program for 5 seasons, helping the Lords to back-to-back OCAA medals. In over 200 plate appearances, he's recorded a .404 career batting average, .507 on-base percentage, 67 hits, 46 RBIs, and 30 stolen bases. In the outfield, he's been flawless with 21 putouts and 0 errors. In the classroom, his achievements are just as impressive. A multiple-time OCAA All-Academic Award recipient and the Bert DeJeet Highest GPA Award winner. He's truly the definition of a student-athlete. He also currently sits with the 14th most hits in OCAA history. Fans, give it up for Human Resources Management Major Ryan Mattis. Fans, one more time, let's hear it for your 2025 Durham College Baseball graduating seniors. Once a Lord, always a Lord. Lords. Leading off, center fielder, number 4, Zach Rivers. Batting second, the right fielder, number 5, Ryan Mattis. Hitting third baseman, number 15, Malik James. Batting fourth, designated hitter, number 16, Nate Kazmarek. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 22, Eric Smith. Batting sixth, left fielder, number 18, Eddie Barutsky. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 20, Ethan Service. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 24, Quentin Earl. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 1, Jonah Miranda. Starting pitcher for the Lords, number 3, Gareth Mann. If everyone please stand for the playing of O Canada.
In this context, there's no disrespect, so when I bust my rhyme, you break your necks. We got 5 minutes for us to disconnect from all intellect and let the rhythm affect.
Umpires for today's game, behind the plate, Steph Calderon. At first base, Mike Bryan. At third base, Sean Lee.
You wouldn't believe how we round. Turn it till it's turned out, turn it till it's turned out. Act up from Northwest East Side. Everybody, everybody, let's get into it.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this OCAA matchup of baseball. Here, the Durham Lords will play their final game here at home at Kinsman Stadium, and they will host the Sault Ste. Marie Cougars. That's a pretty long way for them. I'm Nico Lecca, and with me finally today is Etienne Skitch once again.
Happy to be back. It was certainly rough being away the last couple days, but happy to be here.
Yes, very glad to have you. I missed you at softball.
There isn't too much I could do.
No, I know. So, coming into this one, Durham is one of, if not simply the hottest team in baseball. They come into this one winning their last 6 in a row and solely at third place in the OCAA standings right now with a 9-6 record. Keep in mind, this team started 1-5 to begin the season.
Absolutely. The Lords have won 8 of their last 9 games. Their last loss, September 23rd versus Sheridan. Regardless, a close game, but that's a nasty hot streak. And they absolutely have some of the hottest bats in the OCAA right now, 10-plus runs in their last 4.
And they've scored, I believe, in the last 2 games, they've scored 30 runs, somewhere around that at least. And we will get underway here at Kinsman Stadium. On the mound for the Lords today is Gareth Mann. This will be his 3rd game that he has started this season, coming into this one with a 5.06 ERA. Leading off for the Cougars is going to be John Gignac. And he hits him on the first pitch. And not the way he would have liked to start it.
That's not a good sign for the day.
It's all right. And Gareth Mann, coming into this one, he is tied for first place in the OCAA with the wins. He's only played 5 games and he's won 4. And right below him was Heupel on Fanshawe, who's played 11 games but also won 4. That one is too low. This is Brooks Aylward coming into this one. And the Cougars are dead last in the OCAA standings with a 1-12 record. That's in there for strike one. Their only win came on Saturday, September the 27th, which was against the Fanshawe Falcons.
Fanshawe at that time, though, they were undefeated.
Yes, 9-0. And the Cougars ended their amazing streak to begin the season by winning 7-6 in 7 innings.
You got to look for Sioux right now. Playoffs probably aren't in the picture. 4 games total left, including this one. Their next 3 are against Sheridan.
Yeah, and that one has popped out, but that one's going to go foul. Sheridan is the team right above them in the standings that they sit 5-9. So I believe it is too late for the Cougars to come out of at least being dead last in the standings. Here's the pitch by Mann. That one is swung on. That goes foul. An absolute streaker. A much hotter day here today. Pretty hot for considering October. I believe we're sitting around 25 degrees here at first pitch.
We had to break out the tent, man. This is October. This isn't okay.
And it was really hot yesterday, but I haven't felt this heat in October. And I don't know how long they're going to fake throw to first, but runner will get back in.
I'd be worried about him jamming his finger there. That one didn't look friendly.
As a team, the Cougars are batting .213 as a batting average as the team. Certainly something they would all like to improve on. Here's the pitch. Big swing and miss. Strike 3. There's Mann's first strikeout of the game.
I believe that brings him to 29. Still second to another Lord on the roster here.
Which is,
that brings him once again to third. Next up is Jones, who's in second there in pitching for strikeouts.
Jones has 30, and Mann now has 29 on the season. That's in there for a strike. Up bat is Diego Martinez Elizondo. I hope I'm saying that right.
Lined up for it here.
Here's the pitch. Big swing. That's going to go past the first baseman into right for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at second. And the Cougars getting something going a little early here. Runners on first and second with 1 out.
One at a time is all the Cougars need here. They need runs on the board. We saw this Durham team against Humber. They took a big shot early, got 2 runs, and from then on the pedal was to the metal. And for Sioux, you got to try and do the same thing. This Durham team, momentum is essentially the name what I've been finding for the entire school this year.
That one is swung on. It's a high fly ball into right field. Right fielder has a read on it. He makes the play. The runner will tag to third. The throw will not be in time. Will not even be made either. So it's a fly out to right field, and Gignac moves up to third.
Batting catcher number 30,
with 2 outs on the inning. Next up is Matthew Schrei. And Cougars looking to get on early here against the Lords. One of the hottest teams in the league, looking to make it 7 in a row. It's definitely something you would want to start, is to get out in front. The runner's going to go to second. The throw by Miranda will be cut off by Mann. So the runner steals second here. And 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
Not what you're looking for if you're Durham. Need to seal up this defense. We've been seeing them as a very stout team the last few games.
That one's in the dirt. And he is only 1 pitch away from just getting out of this and not letting Sioux bring any runs across the board.
Big lead from second base over there.
Here comes the pitch. Big swing, and that's going to be a high fly ball into right center field. Right fielder has a play, and he makes the catch. Then it's the top of the first inning. Good play by Ryan Mattis to read where that ball was going. And the Lords will get a chance to bat now. And a good outing by Gareth Mann in the top of the first. Not a couple of unfortunate base runners that got on, but nothing, excuse me, nothing too scary.
For Durham, you frankly consider yourself lucky. A lot of that started off of that walk early from Mann.
The hit by pitch.
And it started spiraling there. You were worried there if you're Durham.
A little bit. It was, and of course the pretty good base hit by Martinez Elizondo. And now we'll see the Cougars come out onto the mound here as starting pitcher for the
Sioux, number 7.
Sioux is going to be Scott Stelling. He comes into this one with 5 2 innings pitched and an 11.12 earned run average, and that's certainly something he would like to improve.
And getting himself warmed up here. You got to be looking for the Sioux. Can you contain these hot bats of Durham?
And Durham is probably if simply the hottest team in baseball with their bats right now, as the majority of their games in this win streak has all been 10 or plus runs.
There's a few other games going on in the OCAA today. There's Sheridan at St. Clair all the way in Tecumseh, as well as Humber taking on Fanshawe out in London.
And that is a very important game because if Fanshawe loses today and the Lords win, that means they will be tied for second in the standings. And then after this, the Lords are going on Thursday to face Humber for the season finale before they head to the playoffs. And leading off for the Lords is going to be Zach Rivers. He's been the leadoff hitter pretty much all season long. And his dynamic speed.
Leading off for the Lords, center fielder,
And what he can,
Zach Rivers.
and what he can do at the plate with his bat is a for sure lock to be hitting a leadoff. Here comes the first pitch from Stelling.
Down the barrel.
Called strike 1. Stelling's windup here consists of the, if you look out there, 18, the pull in with his arm. And that one's a high fly ball into center field. The center fielder doesn't have to move at all, though, as he makes the play. That is an important first out. That was Diego Martinez Elizondo. And a quick first out here against Durham.
Just a routine catch here for Sioux, and for Durham, you just got to get yourself going, whatever it takes.
And one thing as well, this is also senior day for the Lords. That one's going to be grounded out right to second. They'll throw to first. That's in time. 3 pitches, 2 outs for Stelling. Good start for him. And this is senior day here today, obviously being the last home game of the season. Ryan Mattis is one of those seniors, and from what I heard earlier, he sits at 14th place all-time in the OCAA hits.
I believe that was 16, but regardless, obscene
I heard
numbers.
14.
Number 15, Malik James up to bat, third in the order here.
Well, obviously one of the most dynamic players in OCAA offense.
Shooting at head level there.
Obviously way too high for ball 1. And just about the same pitch as last time, 2-0. James is someone you do want to pitch around, though, as he's been very dangerous with the bat this season. Another one, too high, and it's 3-0 count.
James flinched at that one, debated if he wanted it, decided against.
And baseball players have to make their mind up pretty fast. There's a swing and miss, strike 1. They have to make their minds up pretty fast if they want to swing or not.
Put it right down the middle there regardless, so good choice to swing at it, just didn't have to read.
That one's too low for ball 4, and James is on with a 2-0 walk. And up next is Nate Kazmarek. who threw an absolute gem of a game yesterday, a complete game with only one hit allowed for the Durham's cruise to a 10-0 victory. And he's looking to
Nate Kazmarek.
contribute on the offensive side as well. He's the designated hitter for today's game for the Lords. That one's outside.
Kazmarek, one of the top 5 in the league for stolen bases. And almost clipped that one. Bretsky lining up for it.
The runner's going to go to second. And here comes the throw, and it's over the second baseman. But James will stay at second. And he has a stolen base. And sometimes that's a very risky throw you can make.
That one flies into the outfield like it did. They're lucky that James didn't capitalize, turn into another.
If Martinez Elizondo was not covering that, then James may have easily just ran to third.
More than likely uncontested, too. Holy high.
That one is maybe looking to be sent to the moon.
Catcher calls for a quick time to reel his pitcher in. Not liking the mile-high pitch. Apologies there. Clip the camera.
Once again, ATN is back on the camera for today.
Multifaceted
And
here at Durham.
I apologize in advance.
Hey.
It's okay, you know what you're doing. Here's the pitch. That's a chop. That's going to go foul. And the Lords been pretty strong in stolen bases this year. As one of their players, Eddie Borutsky, is at 5th place with 9 stolen bases on the year. That one is
Big
a
shot.
high fly ball into left field. The left fielder, however, has a read on it, and he makes the play. That is Connor Bruzas.
First, no runs on no hits with 1 man left on base.
And the first inning is over. The Lords do not capitalize. And it's a good pitching start from both teams. And we'll go to the top of the second inning scoreless. So a little funny story for you guys. Me and 18, we were so hot coming in today's. Just obviously how hot being it is. And we needed to cool down a little bit. We were looking for some of the ice cream sandwiches that were in the coach's room. And unfortunately, someone forgot to put them in the freezer. So they were like,
drop them in the fridge instead.
I put them in the freezer. And they were like completely soft. Like,
Those things were not edible. You were drinking soup.
if you opened that, it was soup. Not even. It was just like milk at that point. Gareth Mann back out on there again. And one thing, this Cougars team has not won any games on the road this season, obviously only being 1-12. They sit at 0-8 and hasn't scored more than 6 runs.
Not exactly a gorgeous season here.
Not at that point, no, but at this point you just try to get the best out of your players and prepare for next season. And look at this as a learning experience. That's the best thing you can really say.
Leading over Sioux, right fielder number 13, Colton Tremblay.
Colton Tremblay will lead off for the Sioux Cougars.
That's not St. Clair.
I was going to say the Sault Ste. Marie, but I was like, I'll just say Sioux. It's easier. He is in right field today. Here's the pitch.
Big
swing
swing
and miss.
Jinx,
Jinx.
you owe me a soda, buddy.
I don't know you nothing.
Bogus.
Here's the pitch. Another swing and miss. That one was way low in the zone.
Man's got a good stretch going here. 0-2. Here comes pitch 3.
That one's too low, looking to get him fishing. And the Cougars been in Oshawa for a little bit. They traveled here on, I believe, maybe Friday night as they played the Lords. 2 games on Saturday, which the Lords swept the doubleheader.
I thought I was going to get a souvenir.
Or the camera would get broken.
Nah, that was way too low.
And at that point, the Cougars traveled a long way. There's a swing, and that's actually fouled. They came a long way. Usually you wouldn't play a team in the OCAA 3 times in a row in the span of 2 days, but here, obviously,
they need to get their games up to snuff too.
Yeah, how far they are. There's a swing and miss, strike him out. This man's second, now tied second in the league for most strikeouts with 30. Tied with his teammate Jones. And this is Chris Dubell. He is the first baseman. That one is not even close to threatening the zone.
Thank goodness there's no one on base in those kind of scenarios, because if that slips by.
Well, it was a good catch by Miranda. Keep it from going back. Here's the pitch. That one is too far outside.
For Durham here, looking to get some defense going. You, of course, gave him a donut in the last one, but
big swing and miss. Strike 1. I feel bad for this Lords team wearing black out here today.
Yeah, Lords in black, the Cougars in gray, and shanks that one, strike 2.
It was already strike 2.
Yeah, well, keeps the at-bat alive then. Are they up to date? Close enough.
Ignore them.
Close enough.
Man, the pitch.
Dirt.
It's a full count. Cougars looking to get something going here. Get out in front early. Here's the pitch. Big swing and miss. Strike 3. There's Mann's third strikeout of the game. And now Soley is at second place.
Beating out Durham competition there.
Third base number 26, Cole Massey.
And only needs one more strikeout to tie for first in the OCAA with strikeouts, as I believe it's Nelson on St. Clair with 32. Now Mann sitting at 31. Shows bunt. And when it gets down, Miranda's going to pick it up. The throw. Not in time, apparently. A great stretch by the first baseman, Eric Smith. But Cole Massey is on base, which with an infield single.
Now batting left fielder number 14, Connor Bruzis.
Connor Bruzis, number 9-hole hitter, look to try and drive Mass around. That one is a base hit into right field. And they're going to hold Mass at second. And there's a 2-out base knock. 2 straight base hits for the Cougars.
Man, I take half a step away from the camera and he drills it.
Slacking off on the job.
Now batting shortstop number 3, John Gignac.
Sue a man for wanting some water.
And we're back to the top of the order now, John Gignac. Man looks, delivers. It's a big swing and miss by Gignac.
Much appreciated, Nico.
No problem.
Got me my water.
Man looks back at second. The delivery pitch. That's a high fly ball into right field. However, the right fielder, Mattis, has a read on it, and he makes a play, and that's the end of the top of the second.
No runs on 2 hits with 2 men left on base.
2 men left on base again for the Cougars. They've left 4 here already. And good defense and pitching by the Lords so far early on. I'll go to the bottom of the second.
Donuts on the board.
And we'll see if Lords can get out in front. Want to end this game as soon as possible if you're the Lords, so you can get rest up for Thursday. And right now they're just gunning for at least, or at most, I guess, second place in the OCAA standings. They only sit 1 game back from the Fanshawe Falcons.
I mean, is the lead doable for Durham? Absolutely.
Of course. And I believe as well, if Lambton somehow loses the rest of their games on the season and Durham wins the rest, then Durham can clinch number 1.
Of course, Lambton lost their last one against Sheridan.
And that's kind of a rarity because Lambton is absolutely dominant this year. You saw them at the beginning of the season against the Lowers. They absolutely destroyed them with their pitching. Last year, Lambton finished 2nd place as they lost to St. Clair in the finals. You were saying, my friend.
Well, speaking of St. Clair, that's who they got coming up next. They're going to be playing them on Wednesday at 5 and 7:30 all the way out in Sarnia. It'll be certainly a journey out there coming all the way from Lambton, but afterwards they get to come back home to London and take on Fanshawe.
So an interesting sort of scenario, but Durham at least gunning for 2nd place in the standings right now.
And for Lambton,
For Durham, first base,
still looking to fight for it.
Eric Smith.
Not quite sure if they're out of the playoff picture here. Big shot. Down the middle, got the strike there, Stelling.
When you mean Lambton, you mean the
Did I
Cougars?
say Lambton?
Yes.
Oh,
Oopsie.
my finger slipped. The Cougars, 2 strikes in a row. Stelling dialed here.
Eric Smith facing a 0-2 count quickly. Here's the 3rd pitch. That one's not even close. Looking to get him fishing. Just a nasty breaking ball.
1-2, the count. Looking to close out the batter here, bring him 1 step closer to the end of the inning.
That one's too high.
A valiant job of framing there, but
It's pretty easy to tell that that one was above the shoulders. Here comes the 2-2. That's chopped right to the 2nd baseman. He'll throw to first, and it's in time for the first out of the inning.
great play there by Lambton, number 4.
The Sioux, not Lambton.
I'm saying Lambton again? Dude, I'm going to lose my marbles.
I mean, they're both the color blue, but I think Lambton's a little
And
bit
they're
lighter.
both cat teams. I win.
Yep.
Now batting left fielder number 18, Eddie Barutsky.
Still, though, those 2 teams are quite different in the OCAA this season. Eddie
And
Barutsky up now.
just dropped it right in the zone. Good spot.
And Eddie Barutsky, one of the seniors here today, shows bunt, and it gets down. And Eddie Barutsky is going to be safe without a throw, and it gets bobbled. And Barutsky is on with an infield bunt single. Legs one out. And that gives some good options for Durham here. With Ethan Service now at the plate with 1 out.
Durham certainly has some depth in the hitting department here.
Service.
Earlier on, Durham really struggled in the season with hitting, but now the throw to first, nothing happening there. Now as a team, they're batting .290 on the season, which is certainly way better than what they were earlier on. And it's hilarious because the last game against Humber, they were hitting .247 as a team, and bats have really There's another pickup attempt. Bats have really been rising up here.
They're really trying to pick him off.
Hasn't really worked so far, but I would not be surprised if Borutsky tried to steal. He'll throw the pitch. Pulls the bunt back for ball 1. And Durham now have 3 players over 300 on the season. And Eric Smith at 417.
Big
That
shot.
was shot. Right past the shortstop for a base hit. They're going to hold Borutsky at second. And 2 base knocks in a row for the Lords. Have them threatening here with 1 out. And Service is aboard with a single. Next up is Quentin Earl on the season with a .261 batting average.
Now batting shortstop, number 24, Quentin Earl.
And it's pretty hard to get Quentin Earl out by the strikeout. 46 at bats. He's only struck out 5 times.
Are you kidding me?
No, I am not. Shows bunt, but pulls back.
Are we going to get a bunting game here?
Why not some small ball action here today?
Man, we're watching Little League.
Well, the bunt, barely a thing in like most professional leagues now. That one's not even close.
Wild.
Borutsky will go back.
Borutsky was certainly looking for it there, just didn't commit. If that skipped by him, he was gone.
Earl also has 11 RBIs on the season. Here's the pitch. Too
Whoa.
low again. And it's 3-0.
Gotta start putting some in the zone.
Quentin Earl has only walked 4 times in 46 at-bats this season. He'll probably get one right here. Taking all the way, and that one goes not even close. And the bases are loaded here with only 1 out. And charged with the duties is going to be the catcher, Jonah Miranda.
And batting catcher, number 1, Jonah Miranda.
And he is the catcher. Behind the plate for today for the Lords.
Bases loaded.
Allen's in there for strike 1.
Firing. Chipped it.
And Miranda, this season, not much of a hitter. He's at only 6 at-bats. Does not have a base hit yet on the season.
Looking for his
This is
first here.
Only his 5th game that he's played. Looking for his first here, and it'd be a really good one with the bases loaded and only 1 out. However, he faces an 0-2 count here. Stelling looking to get a very important second out. Here's the pitch. That one is too high, very close. Good take by Miranda.
Again, framing job from the Sioux catcher. Not bad so far.
Pretty good. Miranda, however, is very good with his defense. That one is too far inside. 2-2. Good takes.
Looking to close him out.
And he swings and misses. Miranda strikes out. And that's a very important strikeout for Scott Stelling. That's his first on the game. But now it gets shot right back up to the top of the order with Zach Rivers. And we'll see what Rivers can do with the bases loaded and only 2 outs in the inning this season. Struggling a little bit with the .235 batting average. And that's a high fly ball into left center field. Center fielder running back, and makes a catch, and it was very close. And that ends the second inning. And Durham not
Durham
able
on
to
the second
score
runs
here
on 2 hits with 3 men left on base.
after really threatening with the bases loaded and only 1 out, but not able to come through, unfortunately. And it's still a 0-0 game heading into the third. And a pretty good pitching and defense performance so far. It looks like 18 got a souvenir. He got a baseball. Now he's walking off with it, and he doesn't want it. And Durham in black will go back out there. And obviously it'll be once again Gareth Mann. Why'd you give away the souvenir?
I didn't think about it until after I handed it to him.
Oh my goodness. That was your chance, my friend.
But ask for one the whole season.
You blew it.
Man, this is your fault,
What's
Nico.
wrong with you?
This is your fault.
How's it my fault? I didn't tell you anything.
Because I said so.
When will you ever take accountability for your own mess ups?
Never. That's half the fun.
And Mann looking to take the lead in OCAA strikeouts. He's only 1 away from tying Nensman on St. Clair with 32.
Leading off Sioux, second base number 4, Brooks Aylward.
Brooks Aylward will lead off for the Sioux. It's 2, 3, and 4 due up. So pretty good deep part of the lineup. And just like I said earlier, as a team, they've only played 12 games this season, so not as many as Durham. And as a team, they're hitting .213 on the season with a .297 on-base percentage. And that is definitely something everyone would be looking to improve on, as not one hitter on the team has a batting average over 300. That's close, though, as he will be on bat next, as Diego Martinez Elizondo has a .294, and that leads the team. Also has a home run on the season.
Certainly one way to artificially inflate those numbers and swing and miss.
And obviously been just what the Sioux have been struggling with all season, to get that offense going, like you said. Here's the 1-2 by Mann. That one's too high.
Shot high and right there. Not the look you're hoping to get. Man, though, looking to clean this up.
Here's the pitch. Not in there, and it's a full count. Good job by Aylward to work it back. Here comes the full count delivery. It's a big swing and miss. He struck him out. That's his 4th. And now tied first place in the OCAA with 32 on the season.
The batting center fielder number 12, Diego Martinez.
Diego Martinez Elizondo up next. Like I said earlier, probably the best offensive bat on this team with .294. However, does strike out quite a ton. 34 at-bats, he struck out 14 times.
Striking out almost half the time he's at bat.
Pretty much. But also has the most hits on the team with 10.
Well, if you're swinging that much, you better hope so.
Yep. With 6 RBIs and 6 walks. And he's facing a 1-1 count against Mann right now. Here's the 1-1. Too high. He's throwing up high quite a lot today.
Both pitchers are. You got to be wondering if they're trying to read whatever the umpire is trying to send to them, but Trying to play that top side of the box, see if it extends at all.
That one more to the middle of the zone, but that one gets fouled out. And I think that goes onto the street.
I was worried about hearing a crash because I saw at least 5 cars parked in that area.
When will they ever learn? Taking his time here. The 2-2. It's a big swing and miss. He struck him out. That's his 5th. And Gareth Mann now sits alone. First place on the OCAA strikeouts list with 33 on the season.
A new league leader for Durham. Their pitching has been impeccable so far.
And forget just the offense also being good in this win streak. It's also been the pitching that's been absolutely phenomenal in this pretty long win streak, and that's a swing and miss.
Well, what, they haven't given up, what, more than 5 runs in this last stretch of
in all the combined games? That's crazy. That's in there for strike 2.
The man's on fire.
Man's looking for more, as he would certainly like that. Get out of this quickly. Give his team some momentum.
Man.
Too far outside. And that bat is Ryan Tays. And check swing. Look to first, and they said he held up. Man thinks he swung, however. And we got a pretty good view of that. What do you think, Etienne?
I'd be leaning towards that being a swing, but you got to remember there's also some Durham bias in there.
It was pretty borderline to me. That one's in there. Called strike 3 anyways.
Ball don't lie.
Gareth Mann has 6 strikeouts in 3 innings completed so far.
Nobody left on base.
And dealing so far here the first 3 innings. Sioux still at 0 runs, and now Lords will come back up to bat and will look to get something going here and take the lead in the 3rd.
Been a defensive showcase here from both teams.
Defense and pitching.
Well, for the Lords, there's been a lot of pitching.
Oh, yeah.
The outfield and the infield guys haven't really had to work all too much. But for Sioux, there's been a lot of contact. It's just been the outfielders here keeping them alive.
Yeah, for the Cougars, I believe the outfielders made 4 catches already, which is in the OCAA quite a lot. As Stelling only has 1 strikeout so far, but sometimes it's a pitch to contact pitcher, and you rely on your defense to get him out. Not every pitcher has to be a power strikeout. But Gareth Mann certainly is, of course, leading the league in strikeouts as that is. But another thing, Stelling hasn't pitched as many games and innings as Mann, I believe.
Well, we were talking about averages, what, almost 12?
His earned run average coming into this one was 11.12 in 5 and 2 innings pitched. It's gone down these past 2 innings of work, of course.
Of course. You got to wonder if Durham's going to start capitalizing on this at some point. You got to imagine at this point in the season, the scouting report on these pitchers is substantial.
Oh, yeah. And he's going to have a pretty big test here as his 2, 3, and 4 due up. Here comes one of the, I believe, 14th all-time list on hits. Ryan Mattis will lead off, and after him will be Malik James and then Nath Kazmarek.
Leading for Durham, right fielder number 5, Ryan Mattis.
See what Mattis can start here as we get somewhat close into the midway parts of the game. That one's too low for ball 1.
Good read there from Mattis.
Here comes the 1-0. That one is quite the opposite, too high. That was almost above his head.
Should make it so that way the batter can run on a wild.
Here's the pitch. That one's too far outside. Ryan Mattis, early 3-0 counts. Stelling not the start you wanted. Time has been called. by the umpire.
Just gave this Sioux team a second to clear the bats by the looks of it, because a lot of them were mounting on the outside of the.
Oops. 3-0. In there,
3-1.
call it strike one. Took the umpire a second to call it.
Probably debating it himself, probably at the edge of the box.
Here's the pitch. That one is way too far low. And Mattis is going to run to first because the ball got away. And that is a 5-pitch walk for Ryan Mattis. And on early here. As next up is Malik James. Which coming into this one, he is third on the team in batting average with a .343. Has 1 home run on the season, which was, I believe, in the first doubleheader of the season. It was against Fanshawe. And James has 14 runs batted in so far this season, all in 35 at-bats. So, pretty darn good stats for James as he's looking to improve that even more.
0-1.
It's a big swing and miss. Strike two. James has struck out 7 times in 35 at-bats.
Not looking for his 8th here if he has anything to say about it.
And runner's going to second. He's going to chop right to the second baseman, throw to first, and that is an extremely unfortunate double play. And James gets around the first baseman and is safe. My goodness, what happened there?
Are you kidding me?
I have no idea how he avoided the tag there. Yeah, he juked him, avoided the tag. I have no idea how that will happen there. And James is aboard with the field, I guess the fielder's choice, and avoids the double play. It was unfortunate because Mattis was already running, and the ball was hit right to second base, and he was not able to get there in time. But James saves the double play with an amazing juke. And now it'll be up to Nate Kazmarek. And they'll throw right back to James, and he's safe. I'm not really sure how the first baseman for the Cougars, Chris Dubel, missed the tag there. All you had to do was step on first.
Trying to play for a tag, I guess, instead of just tapping bag.
I guess. That one almost comes in and hits him.
Gotta imagine that the coach is going to give him hell about that after.
I mean, we're right beside the dugout, so we would hear. And that's a big swing and miss by Kazmarek. Wonder if you see if James will run here. Here's the pitch. That one is going to be chopped foul.
Sent to the far side of the batting cage there, just behind the Lord's dugout.
Gave him another ball to practice with. Here's the pitch. There goes James. They'll make the throw. It is in time for the out. They catch Malik James trying to steal. And that's the second out of the inning. That was a great throw by the catcher, Matthew Schrei.
Great play. It's a second caught steal there to the second baseman.
Get a good view of Durham's coach there.
Hey, man, not much I can do.
That one is chopped right to the third baseman, and he'll easily step on the bag. And that ends the inning. Durham has some chances, but unfortunately not able to get it going as Scott Stelling has pitched very good in the first 3 innings. And the game going to the 4th inning tied 0-0. Looking like one of those pitching and defense games, which is quite rare in the OCAA today. I feel like the average score, I usually see both teams score more than 5 runs per game.
But just defense so far.
And this one possibly looking to go all the way to 7, as we're about halfway there. And Lord's going to need some more help from Gareth Mann. And then try to get him some run support after he gets 3 outs right here.
Well, he's been the highlight of the day for Durham. as he's already now taking the lead in the OCAA for strikeouts.
And he has 6 strikeouts in this game alone so far in 3 innings.
The infield and the outfielders loving the pitching, but
Yeah,
they gotta now take advantage of it on the hitting side.
they haven't done too much defensively here today. There's only been quite a few balls in play. And the outfield, for sure, has not been that busy either. And leading off for the Sioux Cougars, excuse me, is going to be Matthew Shry. Or Shri, excuse me. And he made 2 very good plays to catch 2 runners from stealing. Here's the pitch.
Off target there.
And made a good fielder's choice throw at second at the beginning, but then with another great throw later on, caught Malik James trying to steal. And that one's not in there, ball 2.
Looking for it on the 2-0 count. Gareth Mann fires.
That's ball 3. Coming into this one, Matthew Shri, 28 at-bats. He has no walks on the season so far. Looking for his first right here. I'm sure Mann will give him one right here, and he does not. Oh, it's a call strike 1. Shri thought that was ball 4.
He was ready to chuck his bat.
And the at-bat is still alive. He wanted his first walk on the season. That one is chopped foul. He has a,
Full count.
coming to this one, a 179 batting average with his 5th on the team. Certainly something. Obviously, he is looking to improve.
Question is, can Mann salvage this at bat?
That's
Yes,
a big
he
swing
can.
and miss. He strikes him out. There's Gareth Mann's 7th on the day. And moves higher up in the first place on the strikeouts list, league-wide. And a good first out here. Next up is Colton Tremblay, who is 2nd in the team in batting average with a 286. However, has no runs batted in the season. That's all with 28 at-bats. Keep in mind, the Cougars have played very much less games than the Lords have, as the Lords playing their 16th here today. That one is a fly ball smacked. Rivers is going to have a run on it, and it will be over his head to the back of the wall. Tremblay is going to come for 3rd. Here comes the throw. It'll not be in time. And Colton Tremblay has a
shot.
1-out triple. And that was just over the head of Zach Rivers as he had to cover quite a lot of ground. That one was hit pretty good, 370 feet out into center. And a 1-out triple here for the Sioux, and they're looking to get the first run of the game here with only 1 out. Next up is Chris Dubel, the first baseman.
Had the miss tag early.
Didn't come back to bite him, however. And Mann looking to keep this a 0-0 ball game. And that one is chopped right to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Colton Tremblay will come in to score. And the Cougars break the score here. They lead 1-0 off the RBI single from Chris Dubel.
Batting third base number 26, Cole Massey.
That will be Cole Massey up next. And Durham definitely going to want to start getting their offense going, as it's been pretty cold so far these first 3 innings. That's a big swing and miss there from Massey. Strike 1.
Looking for the shot here. Big swing and miss. Good pitch by Mann.
Brodsky in left could not get to that fly ball in time, and unfortunately it causes the Cougars to take a 1-0 lead. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's a strikeout. Swing and a miss.
3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out.
2 outs now, and Mann not messing around after
14, Connor Bruzis.
allowing a run to come across the score. Now Connor Bruzis is up. You're going to want to get him out here, as if Bruzis gets on with 2 outs here, that'll shoot it right back to the top of the order. And I hit him, apparently. Man is like, are you sure?
I don't know about that one.
Everyone's thinking that hit the dirt first, and umpire is taking none of it. And it looked like it hit the dirt first. But a hit by pitch by regardless, and runners first and second here with John Gignac up to bat. 36 at-bats so far. He has 7 base hits, 194 batting average. Has 1 RBI in the season, looking to make that 2, if not maybe even 3. And he's going to take some time here.
Catcher just wanted a quick reset. We'll get it.
Gignac with an 0-1 at bat right here. It's a
0-2.
big swing and miss. Like you said, 0-2 now. Only 1 pitch away from getting out of this. And keeping the Sioux off the board for more. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one is far too low. Miranda, good block there.
Just about got away from him, but salvaged in the end.
No runners advance, of course. Gareth Mann looking to get out of this one without allowing any more damage. Here comes the pitch. Dropped by Miranda, but a ball anyways.
It's unfortunate.
Mann looking to see if he can get it in the corner of the zone. Doesn't want to throw one right down the middle with the leadoff hitter. But he might have to challenge him here. Throw his best pitch. Biggest pitch of the game. Here
Fires.
it comes. And that one is a fly ball into right field for a base hit. They're going to send their runner home to score. Here comes the throw. A good one, and he gets him out by a mile.
Apologies
And Chris
there.
Dubel. Excuse me, Etienne, you were saying.
I was just saying, sorry that I missed the angle on the thing just by a little bit.
Okay. And a great throw there by the right fielder for Durham, which was Ryan Mattis. And came into home plate by an absolute mile, as Chris Dubel was only about halfway up third base coming to home when the catch was made. And it wasn't anywhere near close, and the inning now flipped to the bottom of the 4th. But the Cougars do enough damage as they take a 1-0 lead. Now Scott Stelling, who's been pretty stellar so far.
Looking to keep going. But the question is, this is what happened last time when Durham took on Humber. Is they gave up 2 really quick.
In the
then
first
came
inning.
Storming back. You got to wonder if this team's just looking to play angry here after giving up 1.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. As I'm sure the runner being thrown out at home, that's going to give Durham a little bit of momentum at least, as they kept more runners away from scoring and kept the Cougars from making this a 2-0 game, if not even more. And leading off for the Lords, excuse me, is going to be Eric Smith, the first baseman, who leads the team in batting average by, like, what, 10 kilometers? There's a .417 batting average, 36 at-bats.
Leading off for Durham, first base, number 22, Eric Smith.
Has only struck out 3 times and has 10 walks. So obviously the best hitter on this Lord's team.
That's one way to start it, with a ball. Could he go for 11 walks here?
He could. But knowing him, he'd probably prefer a double, as he has 3 of those on the season. Driven in 9 RBIs.
Another low one. And time for the batter, Smith.
Here comes the 2-0. Not even
3.
close. Stelling maybe a little frustrated with himself. I
The
believe
Lords.
Durham's dugout's chanting higher. The 3-0. Pretty much down the middle for a strike. Smith was taking all the way. Here comes the 3-1. Big swing. Gonna go diving catch by the first baseman. Throw to Stelling. And he is out, but Eric Smith is like, are you kidding me? He stepped off the bag.
I don't know.
And first base coach is like, are you sure, to the umpire? Eric Smith retired here after it looked like Stelling had missed the bag. But there's a very important first out for the Cougars. Now Eddie Barutsky looking to get on base here, revenge for his teammate. And he comes in this one with a .381 batting average with 15 runs batted in, which I believe leads the team.
Really?
Called strike 1, and I've seen quite a few questionable calls from the umpires today. And I'm not saying that as a biased Lords announcer, I'm saying it for both teams. As there's been a couple times where both teams have disagreed with the umpires' calls today. It's 2-1. What do you think, Etienne?
I don't know. Out of habit from being on the other side, you know the player is starting to get frustrated with the officials, but there's not too much you can do. Big swing and miss, though.
No, and we do not have a review system here, of course. So once you're called out, even if it's wrong, you're out. Here's the 2-2. That one's too far outside. I guess we would be the only resemblance of a review because we're the only, like, cameras here, right?
Man, does that mean that they can go to us if they want the footage?
Maybe. I mean, technically, we're also game film. And it's a high fly ball into left field.
Foul.
That one's going to go foul, though, at the Cougars bullpen. Barutsky looking to get on base here. Get something ignited here. They've been pretty much silenced by this Cougars pitching and defense.
Lots and lots of contact here for Durham. Just need to take advantage of it. 3-2. Extended count, 7. Looking for 7 pitches here. Walk.
Too high for a full count walk. Good job by Barutsky to get on base here. That's his 8th walk of the season.
Next up, Service. The Lord's number 20.
Now batting second baseman, number 20, Ethan Service.
And Ethan Service will look to get something going here. Here's the first pitch. That one is chopped foul. Up next is going to be Quentin Earl. After him, who's done pretty good in driving in runs so far this season with 11. And the Lords.
Barutsky was getting his steps in there.
And throw it first. And pretty dangerous throw. As Borutsky gets in safe. He tried, you might see him want to steal and be a bit aggressive as it gets into the middle part of the game. Lore's still down 1-0. Shows bunt, but pulls back. Throw to first. Nothing happening.
Good movement here from Borutsky, keeping himself alive at the bag.
And it just feels like this Lord's offense is just
They've been stymied.
in a little bit of a slumber so far and waiting to be awoken.
Gotta wonder for Durham, who's going to make that move? Big
Be,
shot to get them going.
Looking to be service right here. It's 2-1. Here's the pitch. And it's a fly ball into left center field. Center fielder has a read on it, and he makes the play for the second out. Borutsky has to return to first. And another 2 outs here. And Durham has just struggled with, the problem is not the contact, just it hasn't been placed in the right places that they want. They've had quite a few fly balls and just ground outs.
Now batting shortstop, number 24, Quentin Earl.
As Quentin Earl will look to keep this inning alive.
Has it lined up.
It's a big swing and miss, strike one. And Cougars warming someone up in the bullpen. And the runner's going to go to second. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. Borutsky is safe with a stolen base. That's his 10th on the season. Yes, his 10th on the season, which ties 4th place in the OCAA with Duva from Humber.
Big lead there from Borutsky. Walks it back after the Sioux pitcher takes a step off.
So if you hear a little wind here, starting to get windy. Here's the pitch. That one is too high.
No matter where I put my hand, I can't stop the wind.
Nope, it's inevitable, my friend. And warming up in the bullpen is Owen Daynard. That one is smacked into left field for a base hit. They're going to send Borutsky home. Here comes the throw. It is not in time, and it gets away. And Earl is going to make the turn to third. He's running, and no throw will be made as Earl's in there with an RBI triple. And the game is tied 1-1 here. Lords, get it going here in the middle parts of the game.
Wow is all you can say at that point.
And it wasn't the most amazing throw from the left fielder, Connor Bruzis, as the catcher, Schrei, tried coming out and getting it, but missed it. I'm not sure if Earl will be credited with the triple, but at least an extra base hit. Maybe the double. Now we'll see what Jonah Miranda can do and drive Earl and take the lead here. Here's the pitch.
Low.
And the only reason I could think as to why they're warming up a new pitcher is maybe Stelling's starting to get tired.
Well, you got to wonder. He's 4.5 innings in.
Yeah, but he's been pretty good so far. He hasn't, I'd say he's thrown pretty much about like an average amount of pitch count. Of course, we don't have what his pitch count is. But warming up in the bullpen, Owen Daynard, he's pitched 4 innings this season with a 10.50 earned run average.
One the count. 2-1.
And he played in both, Daynard played in both games yesterday against Durham. So obviously knows Durham pretty well here. Allen's in there for a strike. Miranda with the 2-2 count, looking for his first base hit of the season and his first RBI. Here's the pitch.
Stilling.
Chopped foul. Lord's looking to take the lead here off the bat of Jonah Miranda, or at least get on base and move it to the next person, which would be Zach Rivers at the top of the order. The 2-2 from Stelling.
3-2.
Too high, says the umpire. Good take by Miranda. He's had a very good eye. Umpire gave the signal saying just a little bit too high. And here is the full count pitch. All on the money. And called strike 3. Durham's like, are you kidding me? Miranda's not sure about it. And the inning is over.
One run on one hit with one man left on base. After
That's
4 innings,
Stelling's
game is tied,
second
1-1.
strikeout of the game. But the Lords do come back and tie the game. Now 1-1. 18, you look perplexed about that call.
It was high.
Yeah, it was good. I could see the framing by the catcher. It was good. It was good framing by the catcher, Shree. But
You got to give it to him.
didn't.
But
It didn't look. It's obviously harder for us to tell here, but we could tell what is too high and too low. And from our point of view, it looked like that was just a little bit too high, kind of above the shoulders. But
that's outrageous.
but he gets the call, and the game stays tied.
We've been talking about this, how a couple questionable calls lead to a couple misplays, and that one might have led to a big shot here for Durham as they were getting back to the top of the order there.
It should have been a walk, and Miranda was making the turn, and you could hear the Lord's dugout going like, "Oh my goodness, there's no way." But
Back on the mound
regardless,
here.
it's part of the game. We do not have an ABS automated strike system.
I wish half the time, but
Yeah,
man, right here, he's got a fistful of strikeouts here, Nico.
yeah, he's got, I believe it's either 7 or 8 strikeouts on the day so far, and now well leading in the OCAA strikeouts, and still warming up a pitcher in the bullpen is the Cougars.
I
As
believe that's someone else now.
it was number 2. As now it looks like they're just playing some catch, maybe getting loose out there, but we could see Stelling out once again. He has been pretty darn good against one of the top offense in the last 5 games or so. Only allowed 1 run with 2 strikeouts.
Only
In
reason I
4
think
innings.
this one ended up a little slow, I think Miranda was in the washroom.
Oops. Hey, if you gotta go, man, you gotta go. As Miranda's behind the plate once again.
Leading off for Sioux, second baseman number 4, Brooks Aylward.
Brooks Aylward will lead off for the Cougars as they've lost the lead, and now we're going to try and get it back here as we're in the top of the 5th. Not many outs to work with here, unless, of course, we head into extras. Here's the pitch. That one's too low. Gareth Mann, once again, back out there. Hasn't really shown any signs of slowing down, even with the run allowed in the last inning. But no one warming up in the bullpen so far for the Lords. So he's at least finishing this one. Unless it gets away. 2 outside once again.
You gotta wonder if he gives up a walk or 2 here, if starts sending someone out.
Here's another pitch. That one's in there. Call strike 1.
Just making me look silly.
You should be an umpire maybe then. You're giving all the signs out here today. Here's the pitch. Too far inside. Aylward has to move out of the way. And it's a hitter's count, 3-1. And it's a pretty deep one, 2, 3, and 4. Cougars lining up their best hitters, and that is too low for ball 4. And they are going to send someone out there in the bullpen now by the looks of it.
Now batting center field number 12, Diego Martinez.
With no catcher, however, so maybe just getting it loose. As the runner on first off the walk. Now it's Diego Martinez Elizondo. hitting sub 300 for the Cougars here. Hit right back to man. He'll throw to second. It out. Throw to first. I didn't see. What was that? Was that safe or was that out?
We'll find out in a half second.
You didn't see either? Because Malik James was in the way for me, and it looks like he is safe. But the Lords do get the
Looked
first
like he
out
was
of
limping
the
there a second.
The Lords do get the first out of the inning. Off a good throw by Mann. And Martinez Elizondo is on with the fielder's choice. And they're maybe looking at him as maybe tweak something on the bag here. But he will stay in the game. Ryan Tays, the designated hitter, up next for the Cougars.
Man.
And it looks like just people not warming up in the bullpen, but just kind of relaxing or stretching out there. That's in there for call strike one. You would imagine that this might be the last inning for Mann, as he's worked a lot of innings, throwing a lot of pitches. And
Wide right.
too far outside. And you wonder who they go to the bullpen here, if it'd be Will Clark.
You don't want to
Or
put both your aces out at the same time, so. Big
There's a
swing and miss.
1 and 2 here. Man looking for another strikeout. Here's the pitch. Too far outside.
High and right.
Even 2 and 2 count. Lords need this win here today if they want to keep on Fanshaw's tail. Here's the pitch. Big swing and miss. Strike 3. He struck him out. I believe that is either his 8th or 9th strikeout of the day. And man absolutely dealing.
Batting catcher number 30, Matt Schrei.
As I lost track after 7. Matthew Schrei up next. As he faces 2 outs here with a runner on first. Runner's going to go. Here comes the throw by Miranda. And it gets away. Go into center field. Runner's going to go for third. Here comes the throw by Rivers. It is not in time. And the runner, Martinez Elizondo, is in third. Though I'm not sure, that would probably be recorded as an error. Not the greatest throw in the world as it got away from service. And now, the Cougars threatening at third, 90 feet away. With Schrei up to bat, and that's a pop-up that's going to go foul. Who are you, Mario?
Not the ball. Whee! It's shot a mile and a half
Do
away.
your Mario impression.
Ah, heck no.
Yahoo! Here comes the 0-1. Big swing and miss. And it's an 0-2 count here against Matthew Schrei. Or Schrei, excuse me.
Gotta be careful. For the Sioux, you can't afford to give it up. You have a runner in scoring position. They've already stranded one here today. Not looking to double that.
Need the base hit. And he's going to get it into right field as it gets dropped by Service, and the Cougars take the lead right back. It is 2-1 in the 5th inning. Matthew Schrei delivers with an RBI single. It's Schrei.
They just yelled try.
They said Schrei.
The dugout just yelled try.
Whatever. And now up 2-1 are the Sault Ste. Marie Cougars. That one is swung on into left field, for a
Wow,
an
what a
amazing
play.
catch by Rivers, a jumping, leaping catch, and that ends the top of the 5th inning.
Are you kidding
I
me?
hope were you able to get that at least?
It was zoomed out, but I got it.
So it's top of 5th, 1 run on 1 hit.
And that one was going over his head, and Rivers leapt in the air and kept that one in from another base hit. And maybe Even the Cougars scoring another run. As the Lords are going to have to get something going here if they want to keep this win streak going as we get later into this game. As you don't really have many else to work with now. And back out there again, once again, is Scott Stelling. As disregard the pitcher warming up in the bullpen.
Sent him back, but Durham still warming someone up all the way out there. Or at least just getting loose.
And Durham just not getting the game that they wanted here today against the bottom team in the OCAA. Of course, not underestimate them. They beat the undefeated Fanshawe Falcons early on this season.
This team's scrappy and willing to take advantage of any mistakes made. But
And
the lead no less with the Cougars here.
the pitching for the Cougars has absolutely been the key part that's kept them in the game, the pitching and defense.
And for Durham, their call here, it's been misplay after misplay from this offensive unit. Just not able to get anything going. But of course, the Lords back up to the top of the order.
You need to get your first at bat. You need to get on base in whatever way possible. You cannot allow them to get the first out in the first at bat. Kind of take away from that motivation. But we will see what they can do here, as now it's a better time than ever. You don't want to wait till all the way to the last inning with 3 outs left. As leading off for the Lords is going to be the top of the order, Zach Rivers, who made a really amazing leaping catch out in center. And we'll see what he can do with the bat now.
Leading off for Durham, center fielder, number 4, Zach Rivers.
And he's not a guy you want to let on base to start an inning. And Stelling with the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th is not even close.
Headshot level there.
Head hunting. And it's 1-0, excuse me. And
Dirt
that
ball.
one was pretty much the opposite. And now Cougars warming up someone in the bullpen once again. But this is a different pitcher this time. And it's a 3-0 count for Rivers. And he'll probably get one right here. In the bullpen is number 34, Tyson Lay.
Got him
Allen's in
there.
it for strike 1. And he has pitched 21 innings on the season with a .591 earned run average. Usually is a starter. That one's a base hit into left field. Gets right behind the third baseman. And Rivers is on with a single to start the bottom of the 5th. And that's the start you wanted if you're Durham here. And a great piece of hitting there that just got under the glove of the third baseman, Cole Massey. And the Lords, someone on first here. Nobody out.
Ryan Mattis.
And now Ryan Mattis.
Mattis looks locked.
And this is a key moment here, and that one goes foul. You want to tie the game, if not take the lead as early as you can. Don't want to leave it all the way until when you have 3 outs left, for example.
Sue's got back-to-back innings here with runs.
Wonder how long they will. It shows bunt, but that goes foul, and that's a strike. I wonder how long they will let Stelling out in the inning, of course, depending on if he gets any more quick outs or not. But he has an 0-2 count here against Ryan Mattis.
Mattis looking to get the Lords moving here.
Here comes the pitch. Rivers is going, and that's a high pop-up. And Rivers has to retreat or else it's going to be a double play. They're going to throw to first. And Rivers is safe. He gets below the tag.
Wow.
That one's very close as Rivers was stealing. Had no idea that it was a pop-up right to the second baseman. but able to get in there, thankfully, and keep it from being a very demoralizing double play. Instead, it's only 1 out. Now Malik James up next.
Now batting third baseman number 15, Malik James.
Malik James, one out of 2 players with a home run on this season. Here's a pitch. That one's too high. And you could hear everyone yelling, "Go back!" As Rivers had a lot of ground to cover for where he was. He was all the way at the second base
he
bag.
ran through second.
Yeah, he slid into second. He was on the ground by the time the catch was made. And the infield thought that he was out, but somehow able to get under the tag. Here comes the 2-0. James lines one out to left field for a base hit. And Rivers will advance to second. And it's a 1-out single from Malik James. And the Lords are starting to cook something up here. And it looks like that might be it for Scott Stelling. And if it is, it was an absolute gem by him. And that is going to be it.
And mound visit.
That is it. And that's, you gotta understand, that was facing one of the hottest offensive team in the league right now. That was a wonderful outing by Scott Stelling. Only allows 1 run in 4 and 1 innings. And now coming on will be Tyson Lay, who's also played in the last 2 games. This will be his 6th appearance of the season. He's pitched 21.1 innings so far, which is a lot of innings. Allowed 35 hits and a 591 earned run average. But he does get the strikeouts a lot. He has 19 on the season. And
fires gas.
Absolutely dealing, and the big man's going to have a tough task here. Runners on first and second. Due up is Nate Kazmarek and Eric Smith.
Durham hitters coming up looking confident here that they can get rid of it.
And he throws fast. Just watching it right here. And he is all warmed up and ready by the looks of it, and we'll get right back underway here. And it looks like there's a pinch hitter. It's not going to be Nate Kazmarek anymore. I have a feeling this is Tristan Delorier.
Now batting pinch hitter number 13, Tristan Delorier.
Nice call, Nico.
I was right. He is a senior, so this will be his last game. This season hitting .235 with 2 runs batted in so far. Last season he hit .302, however, has a career batting average of .313. Gonna need to get it going here. Allen's in there for call strike 1.
Drops it in there. Good spot. Broke right at the end. 0-1.
And Durham's dugout getting very lively here with the new pitcher in. Here it comes. That one's too high once again. Durham threatening here, runners on second and first with 1 out. Here comes the pitch.
Dirt ball.
You at least want to move the runner up to third in any way you can, at least. Whether it be a sacrifice fly or any way possible. Rivers has the speed. Here comes the 2-1 from Lay.
Fires.
That one's chopped. into right field for a base hit. They're going to send Rivers home, and he will score easily. Malik James is into third, and the game is tied again. The Lords tie it 2-2.
And a great shot there from the pinch hitter, Delorier. And Durham back up in this one with a tie game, 2-2.
And the right call by the manager. And now at bat is going to be Eric Smith, the team leader in batting average. And the coach will have a little bit of a visit.
Base number 22, Eric Smith.
We'll have a visit with the umpire. And they're going to pinch run Delorier, excuse me.
They wanted Delorier for the contact.
And
Got
joining
it.
first Base number 9, Jonas Felix.
It'll be Jonas Felix coming on.
Felix, dual sport athlete, also on the men's volleyball. So he's got enough speed there as well and the power.
And we'll see him on Thursday as they begin their season against the Niagara Knights, I believe.
Believe you're correct there, Nico.
Felix definitely also a dangerous person on the base, and he's going to run. The throw. It is not in time. He gets off the bag, and he is out. Felix overruns the bag. Unfortunate there. And he is caught stealing and just missed the bag, and that can be very costly as the pinch run unfortunately does not work. And there are 2 outs now. And sometimes you don't want to be too aggressive as it bites them right there. Now no more sacrifice available to drive in James. Eric Smith needs a base hit here if he wants to drive him in. Or maybe an error, for example, but you don't want to you don't rely on that, of course. Too high, 3-0.
No one better to do it though than Smith.
Yep.
Has 3 shots to work with here, bare minimum.
So 3-0 count here. Lay looking to keep the game tied. Heading into the 6th. That one's too low. 4-pitch walk to Eric Smith. And a runner on first. That's not the worst thing, but now you have to face another one who is very good, and also, I believe, the leader in runs batted in, Eddie Barutsky.
Now batting left fielder number 18, Eddie Barutsky.
Yeah, I don't know if Barutsky's the one I'd be wanting to face with the runner on first and third.
Of course. Barutsky known to force contact. Also a fast one, too, leading the Lords in stolen bases. Smith almost made the turn. It's outside ball 1. You do not want to get caught stealing here to end the inning.
Smart plays for Durham.
Would be very aggressive. Too low for ball 2. He's thrown 6 balls in a row. Chan is here now. Here's the pitch. In there, strike 1.
The Durham dugout there chanting ball 7. They're looking for their 7th ball in a row there.
Well, unfortunately, they did not get it. As the 2-1 coming up. That one is chopped foul, absolutely lasered off the bat.
Someone check the cars.
Barutsky, 2-2 count now. It's a huge moment in the game. Want to take the lead into the 6th.
For the first time there, I wasn't kidding. Someone actually went out to check the cars.
Well, I don't have to check for mine. Smith is going to go. That's a high fly ball into center field. Center fielder has a read on it, and he makes the catch. And the Cougars keep the Lords off from taking the lead. But the Lords do their due diligence and tie the game as we head into the 6th inning. 2-2.
Durham in the bottom 5th, 1 run on 3 hits with 2 men left on base. After 5 innings, game is tied 2-2.
This one looks to come down to the wire.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if we go into extra innings here.
Both teams have looked even, of course. 1 run apiece in the last 2 innings.
One of the Greyhounds players is,
Greyhounds?
oh my goodness, I'm getting confused with
You and me both.
the OHL team. The Cougars, one of the Cougars players who was number 12 going like this to me. Don't celebrate yet, boys. You haven't won yet. And Gareth Mann back out there once again. Really working him in this one.
On line for Sault starter Scott Stelling, 4.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
You heard the outing there from Stelling. Only 5 hits allowed against this Durham offense. 4 walks and 2 strikeouts.
Especially on the heater they're on right now.
Yep. It's pretty good. Pretty good. That second run was charged to him. So only 2 runs allowed in 4 and 1 innings of work. Against this team, really good. It looks like, I guess, the Lords are trying to save their bullpen for the road on Humber.
Can't blame them there. Got a fistful of games.
Only 2 left.
Leading on for Sault, first base number 25, Chris DeBell.
Chris DeBell will lead off for the Cougars. It's 7, 8, and 9 due up. The bottom of the order.
Bottom of the order. You got to put some hidden gems down there, as that's when you need them the most.
That's a big swing and miss to strike this at bat. Start this at bat, excuse me.
Looking for the second shot. Man.
That one is chopped a high pop-up. Earl has it. Throw to first. In time by a mile. And there's a quick first out of the inning, a very important one. That was a high bounce off the mound. And good play by Earl to come in and get a very important first out.
Durham just got to look to hold this Sioux offense still here.
Next up, Cole Massey.
James comes in here a little closer. Backs off.
Maybe Durham starting to warm someone up in the bullpen. Or just getting someone loose. That one is chopped. Right to the second baseman service. Thrown to first. In time for the out. Pretty close play. Massey was legging it out. But 2 quick outs here. That's really good for the Lords to start off the 6th inning. 2 quick outs. And now it's going to be Connor Bruzis, the left fielder, that will look to keep this inning alive. And Cougars have another person warming up in the bullpen as well. That one's in there, called strike 1.
Looking for the closers here for Durham and Sioux. Swing and miss.
That was a really big step out front. Man, looking for a very quick inning here. That would be very nice.
Welcome sight for Durham.
As they get the bats out as soon as they possibly can. Here's the pitch. Not in there. The Bruises was kind of taking all the way.
Looking to close out the inning here. Man has the power. Swing
Big
and miss.
Swing and miss. He struck him out. Man, an absolute dominant performance in the top of the 6th and all game as well. That's either his 9th or 10th strikeout of the game. And that ends the top of the 6th very quickly. Everything that the Lords were hoping for. And they get the bats rolling out pretty quickly here.
They just shot them all within first.
Yep. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Not even 10 pitches thrown as well. And that ends whatever offense the Cougars were trying to get going. Tyson Lay will get back out there. And I would say that was a pretty good moment of him coming in and only allowing the 1 run to score.
And for the Sioux, put on a very, very good showing here. Of course, 1-12 going into this, taking on a team 9-6 in the Lords. Doing an outstanding job keeping themselves in this and in the lead for the most part. They haven't had a time where they've been out of the lead.
And of course, just this team, the Lords, have won 6 in a row. The hottest team in the OCAA baseball right now.
By a country mile, the next closest streak is 1.
Yep.
Which I don't even know if you qualify that as a streak.
That's not even a streak. I'd say streaks start at when you win 3 games in a row.
What would you call a 2-gamer then?
Back-to-back wins.
Yeah,
Not
I'll give it to you.
not a streak though. Ethan Service will lead off for the Lords here. It's 7, 8, and 9 due up.
Looking out for Durham, second baseman, number 20, Ethan Service.
And Tyson Lay will throw out the first pitch. As this is, Lords simply have to score here. Here's the pitch. In there, called strike 1.
Good shot. Looking for 2 in a row.
Here comes the pitch from the big man. That one's too high. You can hear Durham's dugout starting to get a little bit lively here as game gets to the wire here late.
Within reach.
But
Shot high.
But the same place as last time.
Looking for it once again.
Chanting, throw it higher. Big swing and miss, strike 2.
Got the signal from the third base to swing at it. You got to hope that that won't come back to bite him.
And unfortunately, Etienne, we didn't have any baguettes here today.
I swear I saw the box over there.
That one is hanging right to the third baseman. Throw to first in time. A good throw by the Cougars' third baseman, Cole Massey. And there's the first out at the bottom of the 6th, with Quentin Earl up to bat next.
Now batting shortstop, number 24, Quentin Earl.
The computer is absolutely steaming. Not there.
Ow.
Shows bunt, and it gets down. Earl's going to try and leg it out.
Got there.
And I believe it went foul. Just barely. It was almost right on the money. Earl trying to get on base in whatever way he can.
And that's what Durham needs right now. They just need people on base to get put in scoring position.
Lay knows what he wants. The pitch. In there. Called strike 2. Good.
Excellent framing.
Good framing by the catcher. Just shoots the glove down.
Lay's been consistently flying at the top half of the zone.
Maybe hearing it from the dugout. That one's too low. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Tyson Lay.
Fires.
Big swing. That's going to go into center field and caught by the center fielder. Caught by the center fielder, Diego Martinez Elizondo. There are 2 quick outs here.
He's limping that off, though.
Maybe enough, and he is actually going to get down. And time has been called. And the trainer will go out to visit. Maybe just tweak something, and part of OCAA rules we cannot show you And still on the ground, not able to get up.
Looking like ankle based on how he's holding it.
Maybe twisted his ankle or tweaked something. And that is not good. One, that is your best hitter, but two, it's also not the way you want to maybe end your season, hopefully not. And umpire is calling Durham's trainer as well. As doesn't look like just a cramp or anything like that to me. As he's going to try and stand up and limping. Going to try and just walk it off. Will he stay in the game is the question.
I doubt it, but if he's your best shot at getting it, he's your best shot at getting it.
He had to make a running play, but he didn't have to get down or anything, and I guess just the way he stepped when making that catch, maybe tweaked something, and they're going to leave him in. Maybe just a twisted ankle or something, as he seems to be all right, and we'll get right back underway. Jonah Miranda, the last hope for the Lords here if they want to continue this inning. And I think they actually might pinch hit him.
They are.
So Miranda will be taken out. Pinch hit, and it's going to be number 17 for the Lords.
37. Try again.
30. Okay, well, you're giving me horrible signs. 37. Ryan McGivney.
Pinch hitter, number 37, Ryan McGivney.
One catcher for another here.
Ryan McGivney is usually the starter for the Lords. Has a .286 batting average coming into this one. That one's too far inside. 286 batting average and 21 at-bats so far this season. And he's the last hope for the Lords if they want to get on base. Get something ignited here. That one is a high bounce right to the third baseman. Makes the catch. Throw to first. It's not in time. McGivney beats it out with an infield single.
Wow, what a bounce.
It was an extremely unlucky high bounce. And Massey made a good catch to bring it in, but not able to just get it there in time, and McGivney is on board. Now it's to the top of the order, Zach Rivers. As we get late here into this one.
Fielder, number 4, Zach Rivers.
The Lord's in a good spot now. Ish. 2 outs to your name, but a runner on base, bare minimum. Opportunity knocking for Durham. Can
Here's
they
the pitch.
capitalize?
And that's a high pop-up that will go foul.
Put it in the motor sales parking lot. What can go wrong? Just a couple grand in damages.
Nolan Daynard is back out warming up for the Cougars once again. Maybe he'll come in the next inning. We'll see. Or if Lay allows a base hit here. McGivney's going to go to second. Here comes the throw, and it beats him. Oh, and McGivney's safe apparently. Looked like the throw beats him. But he gets under the tag, and it's a really close stolen base for Ryan McGivney. Very lucky one there. Now runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Rivers looking to drive McGivney in and take the lead here and put the Cougars against the wall.
Rocking a hard place here. Fires.
And that's a pop-up that will go foul.
And goodbye to the coach's room.
That went past the coach's room.
I lost it halfway through the year. I'm not going to lie to you.
I mean, you are constantly on the camera, so it's hard for you to look over. Lay looking to get out of this, keeping the game tied. Into the 7th. Another one that goes foul.
Who needs a dugout?
More balls for the batting practice, the batting cage.
Opportunity knocking for the Lords. 1-2 count. 2 outs.
Delivers the pitch.
Lay.
That's a fly ball into right field. The right fielder, it is foul. Not able to get to it. If he kept it just a little bit in, it might have gone down. And the Lords would have definitely scored right there.
Well, McGivney was 3/4 of the way to third by that time.
Instead, it's 3 foul balls in a row by Rivers. Good job to stay alive. So he'll face another one here.
Rather take a swing and a foul and try and wear down this pitcher and take the out.
Here comes the 1-2 once again. Too low.
Dirt ball.
Ball 2, trying to get him fishing. He's been swinging at everything, so why not? And it's a good take by Rivers. Here comes the 2-2. Once again, too low, and he's worked it back to a full count.
Impressive from Rivers there. Good reads.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to walk him. However,
I was gonna
I
say,
would just face Ryan Mattis right after.
it's top of the order time for Durham. They have opportunity. As long as they play smart here, they have an opportunity. Comes knocking.
And he forces a walk. Of amazing at bat by Zach Rivers. And he gets on first and passes the baton to Ryan Mattis. Ryan Mattis looking for some magic here. Drive McGivney in and take the lead. Head into the 7th.
Ryan Mattis.
And the dugout lively from Durham now.
First pitch of the at-bat coming up. Too low. Lay
Well,
possibly losing the zone.
With that first one, you could see the defense of the Cougars shifted there.
Play in a little bit more.
Trying to account from the gap in the shortstop in the 3rd.
Big swing. And that's going to get into center field for a base hit. They're going to send McGivney home. The throw is bobbled, and here it comes to 3rd. And the Lords take the lead off the RBI double by Ryan Mattis. And the Lords lead 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th.
And welcome back to the top of the order. Durham's got runners in the last 3 innings. And a mound visit from the Sioux.
And that will looks like it's going to be it for Tyson Lay. As he allows the 3rd run to come across, and it's going to be for the Sioux Cougars. Owen Daynard coming on. He's a year 3 student in electrical engineering technology. Coming into this one, he has pitched 4 innings.
Apologies there. Kick
with
the
a
camera.
10.50 earned run average. So something he's looking to improve on, but does throw the strikeout. 4 innings, he has 5 strikeouts so far this season. Looking to keep it only a 1-run game to keep it within striking distance. And it looks like the Lords are just going to chuck Gareth Mann back out there to close this game out. Save
Number 2, Owen Daynard.
Save the bullpen for when they travel to Humber on Thursday.
Not quite throwing the heat, at least from that first pitch that you're hoping for from a closer.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's the closer.
I mean, it's in the situation he's in.
Sure, but closers when you're closing the game.
No kidding.
So
Odds are Sioux does not put in another pitcher, though.
probably
They've used
not,
a lot of depth.
unless they, excuse me, unless they tie the game and we possibly go deep into extra innings. You see that slider there? Looks like his main pitch. And he's going to have a tough test ahead of him as there's runner on second and third with Malik James up to bat, who was a very dangerous hitter on this Lord's team.
Seeming likes to split the gap between the shortstop and that third baseman quite often. And coming up, Malik James, we just talked about him.
He'll look to extend the lead even more.
Now
Durham
batting
want
third
a
baseman, number
cushion.
15, Malik James.
And we'll start this at bat out with a strike.
Good curve.
Haven't really seen much of a fastball, but that could just mean he's a pitcher of tricks. That one's too high. This is only his third appearance of the season. He comes in a tough one here. Try to keep this game within line to come back, as you only have 3 outs to work with now. Here's the pitch. Too low.
Got to worry about those kind of tricky pitchers is how often is that ball going to get away from them?
And you have to be careful with a lot of breaking balls. Sometimes they can get away. Catcher has to be on blocking duty here. And just like that happens right there. And Rivers comes in to score. And the Lords extend their lead to 4-2 off of the wild pitch. And
That felt like commentator's curse if I've ever seen it.
excuse me? Commentator's curse?
For the Sioux?
No, I know. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, commentator's curse.
Yeah. And the runner also moves up to third. And I guess you could say I called it, right?
Yeah.
Here comes another one.
And a walk.
Malik James gets on with the walk. But the Lords,
2 outs still.
it's been 2 outs for a while now. As looked like it was going to be a quick inning, but they were just not able to get it going.
Now batting pinch hitter number
And-
11, Evan Torres.
And it's going to be a pinch hitter for the Lords. It's going to be Evan Torres coming on here.
Torres, another lethal hitter for Durham.
We'll see what he can do here.
Runners off first and third. Shoots high.
Coming into this one, he is a .261 batting average and 23 at-bats. We'll see what he can do here. That one gets away once again. And Daynard may be losing his touch right here. Only needs 1 out. And it's chopped right to the third baseman. And he bobbles it. He has no idea where it is. And the Lords will score again. Now 5-2 off of the bobble by the third baseman, Cole Massey. And it was just unfortunate. It was another one of those weird bounces. And not able to come with a hold of it.
Had enough spin on it to almost dig itself into the ground there.
Now batting first base number 22,
Chipped itself.
Eric Smith.
And Torres gives the Lords a 5-2 lead. They scored 3 here so far in the bottom of the 6th.
Good spot. Gets a strike.
Next up is Eric Smith. Try and put even more here, make this harder to come back. As the Sioux have only scored 1 run in each inning that they scored, and that was a very slow swing and miss there. Trying to absolutely send one out of the stadium. But just misses a little bit. That one is far too low.
And clipped him.
I believe that hit him.
Bases loaded for Durham.
With 2 outs still. Feel like it's been like 5 batters that have came up now ever since it was 2 outs.
Now batting left fielder number 18, Eddie Borusky.
That's a scary man to face.
This will be the 7th batter since the Cougars got 2 outs, which is quite crazy. That Lord's momentum in the train have got it really going, and they didn't have much momentum to go off of.
1 error is all it takes. Service on deck if all goes well.
That one is into left field for a base hit. James will come in to score. Here comes Torres. Here comes the throw into third. And it is a 7-2 ball game. The Lords have blown it open here in the bottom of the 6th. An RBI double, a 2 RBI double, excuse me, by Eddie Borutsky. And the Lords now lead 7-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. They've scored 5 now.
Up here is Service.
I'm adding second baseman number 20, Ethan Service.
Man, that's not the effort you want to come in as a reliever.
Listen to this. Ethan Service led off this inning. And he gets a second chance.
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't think so. And he'll have a second chance also against a new pitcher. And it hits him. It hits him. The second hit by pitch. And it loads the bases again. You wonder now if you should have just left Tyson Lay in for maybe a couple runs, couple at bats, and there'll be a mound visit here. There's no one warming up in the bullpen. Maybe just talk things over with the pitching coach. As next,
trying to chill him out.
Next up is Quentin Earl. As this will be his 9th batter that has came around, and the 8th that Daynard Wolf has faced since coming into this one. Still only needs 1 out.
Batting shortstop number 24, Quentin Earl.
As it's gotten completely away from him, and it's looking more and more like the Lords will close this one out with their 10th victory on the season and their 7th in a row. And safe to say the Lords offense definitely woke up at the right time. They have been getting stymied for a little bit.
A 5-run inning so far, and the bases are still loaded.
And Quentin Earl looking to do something here.
Dirt ball. 2-0 count.
If he's able to get on, Ryan McGivney will do his second at bat of this inning as coming on as a pinch hitter.
And 3-0.
And a 3-0 count here, and it's looking more than likely. However, Daynard only needs 1 pitch to get out of it. Earl will call time. And I believe a balk was called or something because the runner just came in to score.
What just happened?
I believe it was a balk on the pitcher. And the Lords extended to 8-2 now. And
walk.
And a 4-pitch walk. And the runner would have came in to score anyways, but that's not something you see every day. The bases loaded balk drives him in, and Ryan McGivney will have his second at bat of the inning. And chopped right into left field for a base hit. Another runner will come in to score. Here comes Service. Here comes the throw. It'll not be in time, and the Lords tack on another pair. It is 10-2, and they've absolutely blown it open here.
Borutsky and Service both just came in there. How has this gone from a point-blank game
to a 10-2 lead? If they score 2 more runs here, then this will be mercy ruled.
That'll be their 5th potential mercy rule.
Number 4, Zach Rivers.
8 runs this inning.
And yesterday they beat the Cougars 10.
Big shot.
Hold that thought. That gets into right field and gets down for a base hit. Here comes Earl, and they'll hold McGivney at third, and the throw gets away, and McGivney will come in to score. And the Lords tack on another pair, make it 12-2. And that is the end of the game, I believe. A mercy rule Cougars looking around. Is it a mercy rule? Waiting for the umpire signal. And it is.
Wow.
My goodness, what an inning. The Lords score 10 runs in the bottom of the 6th. And just like that, this game is over. And so is the season here at Kinsman Stadium as they will head out to the road for their final game against Humber before heading into the playoffs.
Just so you guys can understand this, the board only goes up to 9 runs an inning. It's back at 0.
Oh, my goodness. I have not seen that before, and the inning just completely got away from the Cougars as all the pitching and defense that they had just ran out here in this inning.
And sportsmanship on display, both teams. Just an unfortunate inning for Sioux. Is it?
Oh, absolutely.
They did all that on 2 outs.
Yeah, they only needed 1 out, and unfortunately just a couple of infield singles and errors. I don't even think there was many errors, maybe a couple. And it causes the Lords to score 10 runs to mercy rule once again against the St. Sault Marie Cougars, who have a
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie, whatever. And they will have a long road back home. Just unfortunate.
Next game for this Durham squad. We saw him beat Humber here just a few days ago. Thursday the 9th, they'll be taking on the Hawks. And for the Sioux, they're heading all the way back home, but Sheridan in for a long drive as they got to go all the way up to Sault Ste. Marie.
And that game will happen next Saturday, October the 11th at 12 p.m.
Try Friday the 10th. Doubleheader and then another.
I'm looking off of what their website is saying. But anyways, no matter, the Cougars will go on home.
Final pitching line for Durham starter Gareth Mann, 6 innings pitched.
And just
7
listening
hits,
to the
2
line
runs,
score
1
here.
earned, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. He now leads the OCAA in wins, innings pitched, and strikeouts.
And as you heard right there, Gareth Mann, after winning this one today and getting 10 strikeouts, now leads the OCAA in wins and strikeouts. I was reading off what their website said, so don't blame me.
OCAA. I win. Regardless, thank you guys all for being in today. Babcock. Sorry, not Babcock.
Babcock,
Jeez.
what are you doing, my friend?
My brain's on autopilot, dog.
My goodness, you need a baguette. You should go get one. Or that ice cream sandwich that hopefully is frozen by now.
Ice cream soup sandwich.
Soup sandwich. Anyways, that is the final game here at Kinsman Stadium in the 2025-26 OCAA baseball season. The Lords started off the season 1-5, but have come all the way back with 7 wins in a row to make it 10-6 on the season. And now they will gun for second place, if not more, as they head to Humber and then the playoffs next week. So, for the final time this season, I want to thank ATN Sketch for joining me and thank everyone for watching us all season long. And I'm Nicoleka, and I will see you guys next year. And go, Lords, go. Have a great week, everybody.